Welcome to another episode of Community Storytelling. I'm Lissa Kreisler. Linda Lester, we are blessed to have her. She is our sponsor. Jaco Art House, thank you for these wonderful canvases. And I'm sitting next to a real life cowgirl. Yes, maybe you know her now that I gave it away a little bit, but I'm sitting with Chyrle Bacon, but that's your real name. You go by Miss Wild West.
Well, I don't really go by Miss Wild West. I'm a little older now, but Chyrle Bacon, Cowgirl Chyrle.
Okay, Cowgirl Chyrle, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you mention it, you use that word old. You are not old by any means, but I've got to have you tell us your age because you are incredible.
Well, thank you.
Tell us your age.
I'll be 70 this year.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
I want some of what you're drinking.
Well, you take care of your body, and I try to tell everybody that. Don't abuse your body, and your body will work for you. So I take very good care of my body.
But you're a cowgirl.
Yeah,
you're a cowgirl.
I know.
So how do you do that?
Nothing's artificial. Everything's real.
The hat is real. The rope is real. The belt is real. Now,
real.
Did you dress up for me, or is this your just normal attire?
I have done 7 shows in the last 5 days, and this is one of my costumes. I have like 20 costumes, and I get a new costume every year.
So we're going to backtrack in a minute, but
okay.
What is your show?
My show is about a 45-minute to an hour show. I do ropes, whips, gun twirling, and I do audience participation. And I call somebody up, and this is out of the audience. They didn't know they were going to get picked. And I put balloons around their waist, and I take my bullwhip, and I pop the balloons as they're turning about, and pop the balloons off their waist. And then I pick someone else from the audience. I have them bend over, and I lay my whip in front of them. And I take a flower. And this flower has a very long stem, and I take this flower and I tell the audience, now, do you think the stem looks too long? Because if it looks too long, we can shorten it. And I have the audience kind of raise their hand, so I break it off, toss it. Is it still too long? And I break it off, toss it, and then I stick it in pretty much I have a gentleman that's with me in doing this. And I put it in his mouth, and he's bent over. I blindfold myself, and find my whip, and I know right where he is, and I bring it up, and I pop the flower out of his mouth. Then I bring another participant up, and I take a newspaper, and I slice it down to stamp size.
Yeah.
And they hold it out, and I cut it in half. And
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, how did you learn all of this?
Well, funny thing, I was a teller in a bank in Newport Beach, California, and one day a cowboy and his friend walked in, and he said, "Howdy, ma'am, need to cash this check." And so I looked at it, and it was for quite a large sum of money, and I figured that they had come from somewhere important, like they were all duded up in all their rhinestone outfits and their cowboy boots and their Stetson white hat.
Wow.
And so I looked at the amount, and I said, "Oh, I've got to get my my bank teller's or my bank manager
approval." Yeah,
approval. And so I went back, and she said, "Oh my gosh!" She looks up, "Oh my gosh!" And so she says she approved the check, and she said, "Would you get 2 autographs for my boys?" And I said, "Okay." And so she says, "That's Monty Montana and Roy Rogers."
And Roy Rogers.
Yes. And so I went back, and I counted out the currency to the Cowboys, and I asked for 3 autographs. And so I thought if it was that important, I thought I should get an autograph also. So they wrote out the autographs, and of course we were very busy in those days.
I want to know where Dale was.
Yeah,
if
Dale.
Roy was there, where was Dale?
Yeah, well,
she was in the car.
Yeah, she was in the car.
She was driving the car, waiting for the getaway.
Right. So we were very busy because we didn't have ATMs. So on my lunch break, I went back to the lunchroom, and I opened up my signature,
Yeah.
and it had several lines on it, and it said, "I'm real impressed with your personality. How would you like to join a Wild West show and travel?" And he said,
How old were you?
I was 24.
And did you look like this?
No, I was not a cowgirl.
Okay, because you have it down perfectly now.
Yeah. But anyway, so it said, "We will contact you at the bank." And this was Monty Montana who had written this.
And it wasn't Monty Buffalo Bill?
No, Monty was a showman and a performer. And he did a lot of shows down in the LA area.
So Buffalo Bill is somebody else?
Yes. So anyway, so in about a week or so, I got a call at the bank, and I was so excited. And they said, "We want to meet you at the Orange County Airport," which is now John Wayne Airport, "and at this restaurant, we want to tell you what we have in mind." And so I thought, okay. So anyway, I had just enough time to fix my hair and put a little makeup on after I had closed my teller window. And I drove to the airport.
Any fear?
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe they were con men, or
No.
No.
At first I thought maybe they'd want to date me or something, but I was very, very curious because I'm 6 foot, and I had tried out for the airlines, but the cutoff was 5'9" in those days. So but I really, really wanted to travel. So anyway, I went in, and we met at this restaurant, and Monty met me right at the door and said, "Howdy, ma'am, good to see you again." And we went back to this conference room. And on this table, they had all kinds of pictures of performers. And he says, "I think you would be great as a PR person to go ahead of the show group a couple of weeks before and stir up the publicity, and in wherever we go, and get the people interested in the show."
They weren't thinking of you as an entertainer. They wanted you for marketing and PR.
Right.
All right. Did that disappoint you at all?
Oh, well, I didn't know how to ride a horse. And I told Monty that. I said, "I don't know how to ride a horse." He said, "That doesn't matter. What you're going to be doing is going to be marketing and selling and promoting the show." So the first place we went, because I accepted the offer, and the first place we went was Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Singapore, Bangkok, Hong Kong, and we were gone 6 months. So, and I went ahead of the show group and did what he asked. I had an interpreter, and at the end of each show, I would walk out to the center, because I couldn't ride a horse, walk out to the center of the arena or stadium that we were performing at. And it was called the Buffalo Bills Wild West Show, okay? But it was a retake. It was not the original. I'm not that old.
What year was this? What year was this?
This is in the 70s.
All right, anyway. Okay.
But anyway, so I'm not quite that old. Anyway, so I'd walk out to the center of the arena, and the interpreter told me how to say a few words in the Malaysian language or wherever we were, and then I would say something in English, and thanking them for coming and seeing the Wild West show. And we had an amazing show. It was a 2-hour show. We had the cowboys, and we had real Indians. We had Navajo and Cherokee Indians. We had bullwhip artists and boomerang throwers from Australia. We had Mexican Charles. We had stagecoaches, wagon trains. We had the Indians would put up real teepees in the show. It was really amazing. We'd have Roman riders, trick riders. We'd have a Western stage prop where we'd have stuntmen, and they would fall from high, really like 50 or 60 feet up in the air down into an air mattress. And
the original Cirque du Soleil.
Right, yeah. And then we'd have, we had can-can dancers, and it was just amazing. It was really neat, stuntmen. And so the show was a fun show. It was world famous. And so...
Was the pay good?
The pay? Yes, it was.
Yes.
It was for me.
And all the traveling, which you wanted to do.
Traveling, yes.
So how did you become a cowgirl?
Well, about a year into the show, we were in Shirahama, Japan. And it was my birthday, and they gave me a rope because I had always wanted to be in the show, not just outside of the show. And so they gave me a rope, and the staff and everything decided to crown me Miss Wild West. And so I didn't really have to ride a horse. I could just wear Miss Wild West, come in with a stagecoach, do a little flat loop, and then get back on the stagecoach and leave, and then the show would begin. But I'm left-handed, and all the show people that roped were right-handed, and they don't want you to steal their act. So
of course
they're
not.
very, very touchy with that. So they do a flat loop like that and then walk away. And then I'd have to figure out, okay, I do a flat loop this way, okay, and then figure it out to go the opposite way. But what happened was I learned with both hands, and it enabled me to be the only one in those days that could rope with both hands, that could pop whips with both hands, and also gun twirl with both hands.
So the joke was on them because you became more famous anyway. You know, don't tell a woman you don't want her to take over.
I know. You got it.
So, and the rest is history, I guess. Because you have won competitions, right? You've beat, I think, men. I think you went to Vegas.
Well, I've been in the Guinness Book for the biggest big loop for almost 6 years, and that was in '93 that I won the biggest big loop. And so I held the record for 6 years, and someone took it from me. And
how dare they?
I know, how dare they? But that's okay. I carried it for a while. And so just about a month and a half ago, I was able to go to Vegas and compete again. Now, the Guinness people weren't there this time, but we still had to all use the same brand new rope. It was 100 feet of rope, and the women performed or tried to get it out, and then the men's division would try to get it out, help the big loop.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so yes, I won.
You won.
Yeah, I won.
At the age of 70?
70, yes.
You won.
Yes, I did. I got
You
a
know,
big trophy.
Did you
and-
write a letter to Guinness?
No.
Because they're so busy covering Joey Chestnut, they don't know
know.
what they got in you. I mean, amazing.
Aw,
Can you
so-
ride a horse yet?
I can ride a horse. I have 2 horses down in Salinas, and I do ride. Not real well, but I do ride.
And you write books.
I write books.
So tell us about these books.
So when I was traveling, I kept a diary, kind of a journal, I should say, of everything we did, all the funny things that happened, and I just kind of kept it myself. And after I left the show and started doing my own shows, I decided, you know what, I should pull out all those notes and retype them and see if I could write a couple of books. And these are children's books, but adults seem to really like them too. But these are the adventures of, and the all true stories.
And look at you on the cover.
The diary, and with the horse.
With the horse. And the rope.
Anyway, so this is Diary of Miss
Oh,
Wild
my
West. We
goodness.
went to Brazil. We went to Japan. Japan loved us. Of course, you know, they
Sure.
love the cowboys and Indians.
Yes.
And we went to Europe a lot. And so I don't know if I'm called a legend yet, but I'm getting pretty
I
close.
think you're pretty legendary, and you're a Los Gatos resident, so you're our legend.
I
You're
love
our
Los
legend.
Gatos.
Now, I know you've been at Frontier Village. You know, I grew up at Frontier Village.
I love
And I
Frontier
probably
Village.
saw it. What'd you do at Frontier Village?
So I did 3 shows a day.
In front of the saloon?
No, on Indian Island stage. Do you know where that was?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And it was one of my first jobs as a single because, you know, when you have a Wild West show, if you make a mistake, they have a bunch of other acts come following you, so people forget about it. But when you're doing the show by yourself, I mean, there is no room for any mistakes. So anyway, and all I could do at that particular time was rope. So I would have the cartoon characters come up and we'd do some singing. And we, you know, just have a great time. And it was a 30-minute show,
Yeah.
3 times a day. And oh gosh, I've made such great friends there, and we still have our reunion every year.
So do you go to the reunion?
I
Well,
perform at the reunion.
I'm going to have to start doing that. I get invited every year, and I never
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
You have performed at Knott's Berry Farm,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Great America.
Yes.
I mean, unbelievable.
All
and
over the world.
Recently, too?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And somehow you had time to have a daughter.
Yes, I have a beautiful daughter. She's 32, and she's working up in San Francisco at a startup company, and she models, and she's just...
Well, if she looks like Mom, come on. And was Dad a cowboy?
No, in fact, I met him in New Zealand. I had a traveling show down there that I was part of, and it wasn't the Buffalo Bills Wild West show. It was just a talent show, and I was down there, and a friend of mine here in Los Gatos said, "Oh my gosh, you got to look up George Choctaw," and he's a doctor down there and in Christchurch. And so I called him, and we had dinner.
And the rest was history?
And then, so I lived, after we got married, I lived in Christchurch for about a year and a half and did shows down there. And then he decided he wanted to come back to the States, and we moved back to Los Gatos. And he's ENT doctor, and he had his on Knowles Avenue. He had his office, and he's retired now.
Do they have all sorts of pictures of you up and everything?
No, he's a doctor.
But the cowgirl and her doctor, that could be the name of a book.
Oh, it could be. I don't think he'd like that.
Probably not. But anyway, that is just great.
Yeah, so my life has been so wonderful. I wouldn't change anything at all.
I bet not.
I would not.
And I also have been told that you go to senior homes.
I do.
Which is fabulous.
Oh my gosh, all this week has been a lot of that.
That is wonderful.
And you know, I not only do the show and they watch it, but I go around and talk to each one, because they each have a story too.
Everybody has a story.
And it's just, they're so gracious and so loving, and it just makes my life so, just burst with excitement, because they're so sweet. And I'm called back every year, and
That's
even though they might have
wonderful.
seen it before, they still watch it.
applaud.
Yeah.
Well, will you do it for us?
I'll do some rope
Will you-
tricks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may not realize, but KCAT TV is on the grounds of Los Gatos High School. And so I think what we're going to do is take Miss Wild West, Cowgirl Chyrle, out on location and have her do a few tricks for us. And then we'll come back in and say goodbye. And this has just been so much fun.
Well, you've relaxed me, and let me say my hand out to Linda Lester, because she connected us, and she is such a genuine person. I love her. She's so sweet.
She is the best. I have my friend now, Cowgirl Chyrle,
Yeah.
my friend, and Linda Lester is my fairy godmother. So I think my family's complete.
Yeah, she's
I think
a
it is.
sweet love.
Yes,
Thank
she
you.
is. So we're going to go outside
Okay.
and get reassembled and have some tricks for Miss Wild West herself.
Yeehaw!
So stay with us. It's community storytelling at its finest. I'm Lissa Kreisler, and Chyrle Bacon will be
Thank you.
back. We're on location, Los Gatos High School, with Cowgirl Chyrle. Now, Cowgirl Chyrle, what are you going to do for us?
I'm going to do some butterflies, roping, and do my Guinness big loop.
Fabulous. She's even got the music to go along with it. So take it away, Cowgirl Chyrle.
Glad when I come home, yippee-yay, yippee-oh, in the day, home we go, for a cowboy has to sing, and the cowboy has to yell, for his heart would break inside a king, at the gate of the home corral. Now the long days through on the prairie, there's a lone sun in the sky. In the days gone by, yippee-yay, yippee-oh, in the day, the long days through on the prairie, there's a low-hanging sun in the sky, round the old corral we will tarry, and we'll sing all the roundabouts in the days gone by, yippee-yay, yippee-oh, in the day, home we go, for a cowboy There's a time to be glad when it's over. And we always will until the day we die. Yippee-yay, yippee-oh, in the day home we go. For the cowboy has to sing, and the cowboy has to yell. For his heart to break inside of him at the day of the home we go.
Okay, this is the first for me. That was one yeehaw! Yeehaw, isn't that incredible? So we're gonna finish it out with the big loop, and while she's getting ready, I just wanna tell you, her books, the videos, the YouTubes of her, she's got her website. You go to COWGIRL, CHYRLE.com. You can buy her books and see a little more of her amazing tricks. Yeehaw! Can you teach me that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We'll do a session for teaching. Okay, Lisa, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm a lefty.
A lefty. Come
Just
over
like
here.
you.
Yeah. So Lisa's going to do a flat loop.
So she says.
Now there's 3 secrets to spinning the rope. Number 1, you've got to extend your arm, okay? Bend from the waist and pretend like you're stirring a pot of beans, Lisa.
Well, you obviously don't know. I don't cook.
Ah!
I wouldn't know how to stir a pot of beans, but okay.
Okay.
I get the gist.
Then the third and most important factor, you've got to let the rope turn in your fingers. See how I'm turning it in my fingers?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Lisa's going to take this, take the upper end, grab it. Okay, let's start again.
Yes, let's start
Let's
again.
start again. This is we're going to take from this.
Okay.
Okay, here we go, Lisa. Grab
Okay.
the upper end. No.
The upper end,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here.
Hold on.
Well, hold on to what? Okay, here I go. Okay.
Okay, wait. Let's
Okay, close
wait.
enough.
No. We're going to do it. No. We'll do a take. We want her to do it. This is going in the blue.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay.
Grab the upper end.
Okay.
Hold on tight.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm doing it!
Lisa!
Close! Oh! Yeehaw! Oh! Just how my beans are baked. Doesn't work. Oh.
Good job.
Yay! Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! Good job, doll.
Was that not the best? We got to get back into the studio. This has been the highlight, my 3rd season of community storytelling, and look what we're doing. Thank you so much. We'll be back in the studio. See you in a jiff. So I'm almost out of breath. But how fun was that? Watching our cowgirl Chyrle, Miss Wild West, out there outside Los Gatos High School's library. You are a star. You are a star. We got to get Guinness in on this because now you've performed at Los Gatos High School as well. Wasn't that fabulous? Who has a story? Linda Lester actually took the time to go to KCAT.org and nominate Chyrle. You can do it too. We would love to have someone like you or a friend or a spouse or a child sitting right next to me right here. Go to KCAT.org and I'll see you next time at Community Storytelling. I'm Lissa Kreisler. Thanks for being with us on KCAT TV 15.